and I would really appreciate it if you would stop Rob Taylor from blathering on and on.
Opinions expressed by talk show hosts, callers, or guests on the Rob Taylor Report do not necessarily represent the opinions of the hosting platform, subsidiaries, sponsors, or possibly anyone else on the planet or the known universe. From the tinfoil and lead-lined broadcast bunker on the beautiful southern coast of Oregon, it's the Rob Taylor Report. So strap yourself in. Your weekly political therapy session is about to begin. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, the nearly famous Rob Taylor.
Hey, Coos County. Hello, Oregon. Hello, America and beyond. And I want to thank all of you for joining me. Yes, I didn't have a show last week. I didn't do a regular Rob Taylor Report, and I didn't do the rant. I didn't feel like ranting last week. We were mired down with organizing and planning. We're planning 3 huge events that are coming up. And if you haven't heard about these events, I don't know, you must be living under a rock, but we got 3 really good events coming on. I want to show you some of the things that we're going to be doing. We've got an American Values Tour, 3 nights. We're going to have events. The first night, we're having a private dinner. And if you want to be part of that private dinner, you'll get to have dinner. At that dinner, we're going to have Maureen Bannon. She is Steve Bannon's daughter, and she's going to be at this dinner. And of course, you're going to get to meet a couple of the Turning Point guys who are national and statewide level people who are coordinating for Oregon and for the nation to create more Turning Point groups. From what I hear, and this is a rumor, I don't know if this is true, but there have been a couple of kids in different high schools here in the county who have approached the staff and asked to create Turning Point groups. Now, Turning Point themselves can't initiate this. This has to come from the students. So if you're someone in a school, you're in a high school or a junior high, and you want to start a Turning Point group, it's not that difficult. Go to the Turning Point website. There are links that could take you to where you can learn how you can form your own group, an official chapter at your school, at your middle school, or at your high school. You can do that. You don't have to wait for your parents to take action. If you don't like the way the world is going, you don't like what you're seeing outside your school and outside your house, and you're growing up in a world that you just think can be a better place, it's okay. I think you should go ahead and consider starting your own Turning Point chapter. Now, organizing, it's very difficult. It's about getting people together with this group, teaching them about our history, our Judeo-Christian values, teaching them about the way that this country was formed, the real way this country was formed, not the we were a bunch of bigots and racists and killed everything in our way. That's not true. That's not the story. We were very, very inclusive. America stands as the only nation in the world where we didn't create slavery. We inherit it. We inherit it from England, to be straightforward. If you wanted to see maybe a bigger picture, we inherited it from Europe. But there were slave trades going back many, many years, even to the first nations. Sumeria had slavery. So white people didn't create slavery. Slavery was here well before white people were doing anything anywhere. And white people were also victims of slavery. But this nation, America, was the only nation in the world, other than maybe, say, England, but England didn't have a civil war over slavery. We did. We are the only nation in the world where one ethnicity of people fought for the freedom of another ethnicity of people. And it was a great thing. It was a beautiful thing. And we should celebrate that. And that's why we are such a benevolent country today, because we have learned from a lot of our mistakes, but yet a lot of people want to drag us back to that era when there were people who were being oppressed. I don't believe that's happening today at the level that it was happening at once in our country. And so the Turning Point movement teaches children that this is not a society of the oppressed and the oppressor. This is a society where everyone has the same opportunities, and we can learn from our differences and better ourselves because of those differences. And Turning Point is just trying to be more positive and give people, and especially young people, a more positive direction. So that's why we're bringing in our American Tours value, and we're having Turning Point speakers. And Maureen Bannon, is going to be there. And I think that's just absolutely fabulous. She's a national-wide figure. She's been speaking at Turning Point national events. Her dad is, I mean, if you don't know who Steve Bannon is, you must be hiding under a rock. This guy, he literally crafted and helped Donald Trump win in the 2016 election. This was all very much because of Steve Bannon. So he's a huge player in this. So this was perfect that we got these three people together to speak on a stage here in Coos County, because I think you're going to love this show. This is going to be very entertaining. This is happening at the Egyptian. Jill Rasmussen, excuse me. She is an incredible woman, very incredible woman. She's a hero. I think she deserves a gold medal. She doesn't give a damn about politics. She doesn't care about the Turning Point event. It's not something that's her cup of tea. She's just not interested in it. But she does have a job as the director of the Egyptian theater, and her job is to rent the venue out to all different kinds of groups. And that's what she's doing. She believes in the First Amendment. She may not care about your politics, but she does believe in the First Amendment. And thanks to her, we are holding strong at this venue at the Egyptian Theater, a 100-year-old theater where we're going to have young people coming down from different Christian schools, from different high schools here in the county. And they're going to be coming together to see what they can do to help the future of this place, because we're all getting old. We need to be replaced. And don't you want to be replaced by someone who's somewhat sane than some of the people that you're seeing on the streets now? I mean, you look at some of the young people, and they're not indicative of all the young people, because I've met a lot of incredible young people in high school, people who are in their 20s and 30s, who have their own businesses, who are doing incredible jobs at the careers that they have chosen. And a lot of times when you see social media, you see a stereotype of the 20-year-olds, with their blue hair, and they look like heroin addicts, and they got crap all over their face. And it's just not a very conducive look to anyone who wants to put confidence into someone like that to become the next great generation. And I think we have an opportunity here in Coos County with the Coos County American Tour values to actually help kids to get on the right path. And the real neat thing is this is happening at the Egyptian on the 29th. That's a Thursday. So you got a chance to go to the dinner on Wednesday, which is just going to be an informal wear dinner. I'm not going to give you the location because that's all private. This is all very private stuff. But if you want to find out about the dinner yourself, send me an email at rob@robtaylorreport. That's rob@robtaylorreport.com. And I'll be more than happy to tell you all about the private dinner with these three speakers. But you can see them the next night at the Egyptian Theater on the 29th. That's January 29th. And then on Friday, we have a country singer coming in, and this guy is really good. In fact, I've got an interview coming up with this young man here. His name is Brandon Hartt. I've never met him in person. I've talked to him on the phone. I did an interview with him on the internet, but I've never met this young man, but I'm really impressed with him. And he has some really good songs out. He's a great country and Western singer. And if you want to kick up your heels, you're looking for a hoedown, we got a hoedown that's happening. And probably not the same type of hoedown that some kids may be using today. But, we've got a hoedown, no fiddlers. I don't think there's any fiddlers in the band, but that's okay. It's still a hoedown. It's if you want to do some dancing, some country Western dancing, get this. This show is happening on Friday at 7 o'clock at the North Bend Community Center. and it's a free admission. Now, we have to put a limit on how many people can go in that building. There's a limit of how many people. I forget what the limit is. We'll find out. I think it's like 400 people. Doesn't matter. We're going to have tables set up. We're going to have the Elkhorn food truck there. If you want to purchase a meal from Elkhorn, you want to purchase your drinks, we will have drinks for donations there for people. But really, this is, once again, a pretty informal dance. We're just going to have them come out and play for the people. No politics whatsoever. We're not going to have any political tables. We're just going to be there to have a good time because I want to go see Brandon Hartt. I think he's a really excellent country musician, and I want to go see him live in person. And I hope that most of you can join us on that Friday. That's Friday, January 30th at 7 o'clock at the North Bend Community Center. And that's going to be a real good show. So we are asking people to show up. And this is a non-alcoholic event. We're not serving alcohol. This is for a good time. And so anyone can come out there and do some line dancing if you want to do. He said that they do a lot of line dancing at the place that he plays at up north in Bend. And you'll get to hear about this because I'm getting ready to start this interview. But I wanted to tell you about why we're doing this and why we're trying to have these events. Like I said, we're getting old and we need people to replace us, young people, young conservatives, Christian conservatives, usually people who go to church and are Christian, usually share our conservative values, but that's okay. There are people who are not. And we want all of them to be able to go to a nice event and just enjoy themselves. So that's why we're having speakers on Thursday night, January 29th. And that's why we're having a concert on the 30th. Pretty damn good deal. What more could you want in Coos County? It sounds like it's going to be a hell of a time. And if you want to be part of these events, you need to get your tickets. Tickets are on sale and they're going like wildfire at the Egyptian. You can go to the Egyptian website. I'm not sure if I have that up. Let me see if I have the Egyptian website here. I don't think I did. That's okay. I'll put it up during the interview. And so I'm going to start this interview with Brandon Hartt. I did this a couple of days ago. And I think he's a pretty interesting young man. I think you will enjoy this interview. And here he is, Brandon Hartt. Hey, everyone. I want to thank you for joining the podcast. I got a very special interview here. I'm talking to country singer Brandon Hartt, who's been putting out some good music for a little while here. And I want to talk to him about where he's been, where he's going, especially with his music, his talents. And he's coming to Coos Bay. He's going to be here in Coos Bay at the end of January. And I'm pretty excited about that because this is going to be a free concert. We're encouraging people to come out and kick up your boots and put your dancing shoes on because we're getting ready to have some fun stuff happening here. And joining me right now is Brandon Hartt. Brandon, how you doing, man?
Good, man. How are y'all?
We are doing kick-ass. We're on the coast, and the sun is shining, and so I can't complain when that's happening.
I love it. Yeah, it's
How
the
about yourself?
first pretty day here, man. It's been raining like crazy for the last week too. I think I'm like an hour from you, but it's been raining nonstop. It's just like it's depressing. But it's beautiful outside, so I'm excited, man. Excited.
Nice. You
Excited
live in
for New Year.
Excited for New Year? What you
Yeah.
got? Big plans?
Yeah, man. I'm just ready to turn. It's like towards the end of the year, music seems to kind of crawl to a halt. So it's a good time to hang with family and whatnot. But after about a month of being off, I'm ready to turn.
Is that because there's no outdoor venues going on, or is it because it's winter? What's happening during winter?
Well, part of that, winter's a great time for bars and for concerts, really. But part of that is like late November, December, everybody goes home as far as executives. So the machine, as far as music and the machine and all the people making phone calls and the people in office, they're kind of gone for the last month. So it's a lot of automated stuff until the next week or so in January. So it's like either you're plugged in there and you're doing something or you're not, so it's
Absolutely.
kind
You
of
got to keep
kind of
moving. In the industry, there is no downtime. You're always having to do something, right?
Mhm.
Cool. And so tell me, What got you started in music? You're a young man. You come from North Carolina, from what I understood from your bio. But what have you always played the guitar? What's up with that?
Yeah, when I was a kid, when I was I'd say 13, 14, I say kid, young adult, I picked up a acoustic guitar, had two strings on it, just learned how to kind of fiddle around. It was one I found in my grandma's attic actually, and then my brother ended up getting me a guitar when I was 18. He kind of took me some rock shows, took me to see my all the first concerts I ever got to see, so really got me in love with music from there. And then at 15, 16, I was starting to learn, write songs on a tailgate, play for friends, throw bonfires. And
What were some of the concerts that you went to?
I think one of my favorites was Alice in Chains.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was really cool because obviously, Lane Staley had passed, and this was the first show with a new singer. And couldn't even tell you his name right now. But he was like, I remember thinking that night, this is like a reincarnation of Lane. Like there couldn't have been a better singer step in the place. And they just killed it. I think I saw him in Winston-Salem in North Carolina. It was just one of the most memorable nights of my life.
The only nice thing about watching your favorite bands age and kind of move on till for the next genre and the next generation coming in, is that you get to see them at fairs and you get to see them at smaller venues, and the cost isn't nearly as much as it used to be.
Yeah.
And we've seen some incredible acts come through here in Oregon and Southern Oregon at the Roseburg State Fair. I mean, they had Billy Idol, they had Alice Cooper one year, they had
Wow.
Leonard Skinner the last lineup, and
Let's
I
go.
think it was like $8 or $9 for tickets. So it's incredible that you got these older guys, these older bands still pumping it out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. That's one of my favorite, my whole honestly, the 90s was like what did it for me in music, between rock and I know Skinner was more 80s, 90s, but Skinner was a big influence for me as well. So uh yeah, I love that whole era.
Very nice. They're very nice, and I like to see. I like when I got a granddaughter, and I'll tell her, yeah, I got a new song I want you to hear, and I'll play a really old band, and she, oh, that sounds great, and you're like, yeah, it's a new band that just came out. They call the Beatles, and it's,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, it's music is one of those things where good music is good music, and if you enjoy it, you're going to enjoy it. It doesn't matter, what genre it is, whether it.
Absolutely.
I like heavy metal, I like rock and roll, and I like country as well. Let me ask you, what's some of your favorite country players back in the day?
I would say it's the greats, Merle, Waylon, George. I really like Don Williams. My daddy really liked Don Williams, and so when I was younger, I really fell in love with his music, the simplicity and just honesty of a good Don Williams song. But the biggest ones for me were, I would say, Waylon would be the top, and then George, Merle, a little bit of Willie.
Yeah, I all of those. I'm right with you. Merle Haggard was phenomenal. I enjoyed the good old Merle Haggard albums,
Mm-hmm.
and Johnny Cash, of course, the classic. When he covered that Nine Inch Nails song, he made it his. You know what I mean? He took it and he made it his and turned it into a whole thing that other people can get to enjoy, because there's not too many people in their 60s or 70s going to Nine Inch Nails concerts.
Totally. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So,
wild.
so where, we got you coming out here in the end of January this month. Well, actually, it's next month. It's not quite January yet. And I haven't celebrated the New Year yet.
Yeah.
And so, what have you been, some of the places you were this past summer? Because I know we were at an event, and I can't remember where it was because we went so many different places, but you were one of the lineups there. We got a few songs of yours in, and we had to go. But what are some of the places you've been this summer?
So this last year, it's So I did a little tour with the Moonshine Bandits, which is fun. We did I think we played like 12 different states, starting, Michigan, up in that area in the Midwest. Then we came back out, went through California, back up this way, Arizona. It's kind of a weird how the trail goes around. It's like it doesn't make sense, but yeah, I think we played. It was a lot more of West End shows for this last summer. And my market's more over towards the east, so it's cool to be out here and build with new people. It's exciting.
Very cool. Very cool. And I turned your videos on to some of my friends who, a lot of them, we just don't listen to music anymore, since we just listen to stuff that's on the radio that's just nonstop talking heads anymore.
Yeah.
It's sad once you get to a certain age. But I try to listen to music more often. And so I had your videos because we were planning on having you attend. And it was really cool that I got to share those. And some of them I really enjoyed it because you talk about in your videos living a real life, living a life that is sometimes full of sin. My grandfather called it wine, women, and song. My generation called it sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And now your generation is having to face those same temptations that every generation faces. And you write about that in your videos and you show that. And not everyone's perfect. Not everyone's living a polished life. And that's what I liked about watching your stuff out there. Tell us, how do you go to that? Why didn't you do something more polished?
Well, for me, I think raw for me it's just the way I have a lot of the new records that I'm coming out with. There's a few of them that are pushed more towards that polished thing for like a bigger crowd and radio. But there's some of these things I really like. I feel like raw records are the ones that touch, man. They're the ones that reach in and grab you. I've heard hundreds of thousands of records, and the ones that I remember and the ones that made imprints on me were the raw ones. It didn't take a whole bunch to it was more about the melody and song, the lyric, and so for me, I think that's what I like, man, is the raw approach of speaking about the battle between our demon and our angels. I think it's been a thing that we've been talking about forever, but I think in music right now is a great time because I feel like the veil's being lifted on a lot of things. So I think it is somewhat correspondent with the nature of this spiritual awakening that's going across the planet that I believe is happening right now, and I think that's just in the way of truth and information. But that's the raw music, I feel, that's the way to feel that whole,
I agree with you. In the 60s, we watched a generation of people who wrote songs about what they were experiencing because of what they were going through with the government, with society, with culture. And that helped shape and change the direction of this country in good and bad ways. And so anytime anyone can add to the mix and put in there something of redeeming values, you can have the bumping and grinding, you can have the bar fight scenes, you can have the drinking scenes, you can have the smoking scenes, but you have to have the redeeming quality at the end while you're doing this, for family, for love, for those types of values that we all find a quality in. And I think that you're going to find that, and you're talking about it now. Are you leading toward more of that direction as well?
Yes, I mean, yes and no. I want to give people really two different cups to drink from here, because I don't want to make everybody all the time have to listen to things that puts their soul on edge and their spirit on edge. But at the same time, I want every once in a while for one of these songs to reach out and touch somebody. And I would say at least 1 out of 4 songs you listen to of mine shouldn't be about partying. It shouldn't be about driving around drinking whiskey, women. It should have something in there that you can take home, So I've done the same thing with this record. I've got a couple songs about drinking. I've got a couple songs about love, and I've got songs about dying, songs about family, losing people. So I'm kind of look at myself as a painter, and I try to use every color. You know, I used to watch Bob Ross when I was a kid. And I like to try to do that with music because it's all about putting the pen to paper, you know, and getting the ideas out and letting that resonate with other people, see what works. I'm not a pro at this yet either, you know, so
That's the talent, that if you have it, you can sew those words together and create that poetry and put it to lyric, put it to music, and people will, if you do it the correct way, people will connect. There are songs that are 50, 60, 100 years old that you can hear that you totally connect with because the words ring true. And that's why I think a lot of people who listen to country do listen to country, is because of that. It does ring true. And I liked what you said about you don't like writing too many songs that put people on the edge, because that's also another thing, is that you don't want to alienate anyone and you want people to have a good time. That's part of the reason we're having you come down, is because we want people to have a good time.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and so I hear a lot of stuff coming out, you know, of people just, it's kind of like always alienating or pointing fingers, or you know what I'm saying, all the posts, it's always pointing fingers, and I don't want to bring that energy. And that's what this coming year is about, is just completely unleashing this music and in a way of love, and just, you know, praying that everybody receives it the way that I do from God, you know.
Are you married? Do you have any kids?
I have a couple stepkids, but no, I'm not married yet. Yeah, I'm actually dating right now.
Nice. Nice. Okay. Fair enough. You look fairly young. How old are you?
35.
Oh, okay. All right. See, once you get a certain age, you all look like kids. Oh, they're
Yes.
kids. And so, yeah, 35. You've been around long enough. Were you familiar with Charlie Kirk and the Turning Point organization? Did you watch any of his videos? Did you tune in and any of that stuff?
Yeah, definitely. I was 100% familiar with it. It was crazy. I really only crossed Charlie 2 or 3 weeks before, which is crazy because I know he had been out there and I've heard his name thrown around, and you know, I've been in and around some of the political stuff and always been a patriot, but I'd somewhat distanced myself from the social media and political side over the last year just because of the nature of the crap going on. And so I really just came back into the scene and started watching some of his videos, and then saw that tragedy happen, and it totally woke something up in me, you know.
Did it? I mean, I often wonder that, because we had a vigil for him, and there was a huge vigil over in Eugene. I don't know if you got a chance to see that or even go to it, but do you think it did have an impact on people around your age and your generation? Was it is something that I can remember when Robert F. Kennedy, I wasn't born when John F. Kennedy the president got shot, but I was around when Robert F. Kennedy got shot.
Yeah.
And even though I was just a kid, we always remember that stuff. Is that something that happened when he was assassinated, Kirk?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I think for me it was, you know, we could go so deep into this. For me, the fact that social media uh went from, in 12 hours time, seems like, went from wouldn't let you post a BB gun without blurring it out to allowing that video to cross my feed in the morning and me to witness a person. And it's not the first time I've seen videos and horrible stuff like that, but it's not something I ever want to see, nor do I believe anybody should ever see that. I think that part will stick with people forever, at least the ones who are still awake and have any kind of spirit and soul. And I don't think that's a left and right thing. I think that's a human being thing. And
Yeah.
it's like, if you can dismiss that and make fun of that, I think that speaks to your lack of humanity. You know?
Yeah, there's something, some sort of compassion that's not,
There's something ain't clicking there.
yeah, you're very sadistic if you're not someone who can actually empathize with people who are suffering. And that's what blew my mind is I was a big fan. I knew who he was. I followed him since he first came out years ago because I follow politics.
Yeah.
It's my job. And so I knew about him, and I was very ticked off when it happened. I hate seeing people who, whether they're on the right or the left. I didn't like Rob Reiner getting killed. You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
actor.
Yeah.
It's like you don't, especially by your own kid. Could you imagine the last thing they probably saw him and his wife when his child was stabbing him was their child? And I mean, those types of things, people. That's not what anyone should ever experience in life, and yet here you have it happening on both sides of the aisle because we both suffer this human condition. And I think people forget that when they're attacking each other politically. And guys like you who are artists, who are in the middle, sometimes all you're doing is holding up a mirror to what you're seeing from society and just reflecting that image back on us. And that's what I love about certain songs and music and art.
I love it. Yeah, I think that's one of the most powerful pieces of being in this position is I think that's the gift. It's like not to stand on a soapbox, but to give some of the things that I feel like I'm resonating with other people and the things that I believe that other people believe that we collectively need to talk about. And that's one of those things. Every 1 to 4 songs, I try to put that in. I try to say what can I talk about in this song that's going, that it's going to make somebody pull over and think for a second. I had a guy a couple years ago walked up at one of my shows and he was like, man, I don't know if you know how impactful, and the song he was talking about was just not an impactful song. I think it was Gas, which is like, has nothing to do with anything. But he said, man, I heard that song come on and for some reason I pulled over on the side of the road and I cried for the first time in years. He's like, and I haven't felt better since that night. He's like, since that night, something just, I let a lot of stuff out. And he was like, I guess he'd listened to a couple more of my songs, but he was just like, I just want to let you know that happened. I was just like, wow. So that to me is why I feel like it's big shoes to fill to be a musician, to be an artist, and to really try to actually make a difference and sing about something besides tits and, boobs.
Yeah.
Booties.
And I've known young artists throughout my life. When I was a young man, a lot of my friends were in bands, and my son thought he was a rapper, and those kinds of things. It's like, okay, so you're singing about all the bad things that you're doing wrong, but
Yeah.
what are you singing about? Something historical, you know what I mean? It's like, at least tell a story. That's the other thing. There are songs that could tell a story. Who is it? Harry Chapin, who did Taxi, Billy Joel, The Stranger. They may be before your time, but there are people out there. Rappers are really great at telling stories with their rap music. It takes guys like me a little bit longer to follow it, but they do tell a story, and that's really cool when you have someone out there who can tell a kind of a neutral story without throwing in too much of the bad stuff. And I do like that as well. You got a website, and I would have put that up on here. Let me share this tab. There we go. All right. And where were some of these videos filmed at?
So that one right there was in Alabama. That's with my buddy Jambo. That's him singing right there. Jam Wayne. We actually shot that out in Alabama. That's all at his place. He's got a big old farm out there that they shoot. I think they've shot over 100 videos on that same farm. I don't know how they do it. It's like they never run out of content.
Cool. That's a good sign that a person who can keep rolling and keep doing those. And Where You Drink, Brandon Hartt, and tell us about this one.
Yeah, so that song's coming out. It should be mid-January to late January max. I'm speaking with a couple different distribution companies right now. I got out of a label deal not too long ago. It's actually been a month since I signed the last getting out papers. But this will be my first single since being out of that deal as an independent. I've got some big players on it. David Ray out of Nashville. David's on a bunch of big records right now. David helped me produce this. Got a lot of the biggest players in Nashville to play on it. So, we got some hard hitters playing on a few of these new records. So I just want to get some, off some good distribution options. I have a few on the table and looking for a couple more just to make sure that when we put this out, it's with the right people and the right team. And so over the next week or so, I'll be having more talks about that. And then I should be able to get a pre-save link and get it up, get it ready. We shot the video at Ponderosa about 3 weeks ago, I'd say. And
so you got to tell me about the shooting of the video at Ponderosa.
Yeah.
Where is this place? This looks like a magical place.
It is. Ponderosa. When I came to town about, I would say 5-6 years ago, I came and played my first show here in Oregon, and it was at Ponderosa. And I remember being on the way out here on the bus. One of the guys were like, "Man, you're gonna love Ponderosa. It's like, this is like a truck stop / saloon." And so I ended up playing a couple shows there. Met the manager, Chris. She was amazing. Always treat us great. So long story short, I met my girlfriend out here at Ponderosa.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah. So anyways, I've been out here a year and a half, almost 2 years now, and that's where I go to play shows. I hate to blow up one spot all the time, but it is my favorite place to play. So I probably, on average, I would say I play there, once every 2 months.
So you got to tell me, so they're a truck stop. I've never been to this place, and man, you really got me wanting to go there after you hit it's a truck stop / what did you say, saloon? What was your description?
Yeah,
saloon,
okay.
Yeah. I'm there because that sounds like they serve whiskey, and you can also get a side of country fried steak with gravy. Is that true?
Yep.
Oh my God. This is heaven. This is
okay.
You're from North Carolina, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So one of the things that I missed out here in Oregon is we just don't have the barbecue like they have in the southern states, eastern Texas, Louisiana and stuff. They just don't have the barbecue. North Carolina is famous for barbecue. And so that's one of the things I do miss. And out here, though, it's a lot of people don't know these places like this still exist. You know what I mean? And it's good that you're pumping this place up, because I bet you there are going to be people who are watching this, who are checking this out, who are just going to go, wow, this looks like a place I'd like to go and listen to some country music. And so tell me, I haven't been to a bar in quite a while, a country bar, or I haven't been to a concert where they would be dancing. But do people still dance? Are we still dancing in this country?
Oh yeah. There's a bunch of different line dance teams. They do. I've almost become a bar rep for them. They do. They do line dancing. I think like Thursday nights or something like that. But we actually got a friend of ours, Skylar, through Doty Dance School, and then my lady and one of her friends is basically they put choreographed the whole dance, put it all together. And so that's the 3 you're seeing right there that are dancing in the video, and Skylar's in the middle. And it was really cool, man. I mean, that's one thing that I want to bring back to the music scene, that I feel like, there's guys doing it. I mean, I think Zach Top's kind of really bringing that 90s country bar swing kind of feel back into it. I just love that feeling about a country concerts when people can move right out in the middle, and then all the people around can stand around, drink or whatever, So we wanted to kind of represent that and bring that same kind of, revigorate that image, because it seems like lately, dude, the last few tours I've played on, it's been like people just kind of stand there. And the music's awesome, it's exciting, right, but I don't think there's much emphasis on moving people and on dance numbers and on tempo for dance. And so I've concentrated a couple of these records on specifically that.
That is cool. me and my wife, we enjoy dancing, and we don't do it hard. We haven't done it in a long time. We just don't get out. There's not a lot of places out here in Bandon and Southern Oregon to kick up the boots. And that's kind of why we're having you come out. You know what I mean? We're bored silly out here, and we need some great entertainment. And this is why I encourage people, if you get a chance, the tickets will be, well, you don't even need tickets. It's free. And you're coming out January 30th. This is going to be a Friday night at the North Bend Community Center. And I am so thrilled about this because we don't get a lot of entertainment out here. People overlook us, and we certainly don't have a bar like the Ponderosa that I know of. And so, this is some really cool stuff. Let me ask you, because North Carolina, did you grow up in a rural area? Or did you grow up on a farm? Did you grow up in a city? How was your life when you were growing up?
Yeah, it was a farm. I mean, I wouldn't say a farm as in the one that, with big cows and stuff like that, but my daddy was a framer and a race car driver, dirt track driver / framer mechanic, so I grew up in that. We had a couple dogs, a couple chickens, and no more than that, but I was definitely raised in the country,
That is very cool. Because a lot of people, they don't get that opportunity anymore. And I think there are reasons you learn values in the country that you don't learn in the city.
Mm-hmm.
Is that you go through things, the hardships, the types of hardships that you go through in the country aren't the types of things that you'll go through in the city. And
absolutely.
And chores, cleaning up after animals. It's never ending. If you grow stuff, if you have a garden, I mean, we had a huge garden one year, a couple of years in Texas on our farm / little ranch that we had going on there. And it was just a lot of work. People don't realize that, who live in the city, and they complain because they have to go to the store and they have to go shopping, and they don't realize it's guys like you who are working out there to raise this stuff. Do you see that disconnect as growing, and what can you do about it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There is a disconnect there, but that's where I try to keep it neutral as well, with the music. Cause it's kind of like, I understand that I know people that were raised more suburb that, kind of know what country life's like, maybe had to work just as hard. So I don't want to, poop on anybody as far as that goes. But in the same sense, yeah, there is something to be said about, like you said, it's like just managing land alone is a 9-to-5 job, and then you add everything else, a home and whatever else to it. So when people say it's it's work and it's a job, it's a way of life. It really is. You got to wake up earlier and deal with things till way after dark. It's one of those things. But I enjoy it. I wouldn't have it any other way. Go ahead.
Yeah. I miss living out in the middle of nowhere, and every now and then we get the itch, and because we live in the middle of a little city, and we've got all the accoutrements of the city. We've got the stores, the gas stations here, and but we would like to live out further in the country. I think it would be cool. I would like to definitely go east if I'm still in Oregon, if not even further. So what brought you to Oregon? Why would you move to Oregon from North Carolina?
Well, that is a good question. It was when I met my girl out here. That was the only reason. It is pretty out here,
Whoa. Yeah, you can't get away from this too fast. You're telling me you moved here from North Carolina for love?
I did.
That's freaking. Have you written the song about you know what I mean?
I've got a couple started, but I hadn't yet.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's got to be perfect,
That I get it. But dude, you did the most of everything that you're going to take from this interview. That right there, that's cool. I moved to Oregon for love. That's because there's really no other reason to move to Oregon.
Absolutely.
In fact, I think you're a commercial for U-Haul right there, man. So
Yeah.
you have to tell people, oh, why should I move to Oregon? Well, you got to find somebody to
For
love.
love.
Love Oregon. Love Oregon style. Yeah.
Love
Geez,
it.
that is a cool story. So I'm sorry. Go ahead and continue.
Oh, you're good. Yeah. So I met her. She's amazing. Her name's Melissa. I met her about, I think it was like my third or fourth run out here. We ended up meeting. We were actually both at the Ponderosa after a show. Ended up talking, and then I was on tour, so she came out to a couple shows, and it was from there we were both like, "Hey, coming home with you, girl." Nah, but we did. I came out here. We found a little farm. Just moved into it. It's awesome.
Oh, wow. So how long did this romance last or started and had lasted before you came out to Oregon?
Not long. I would say a couple months.
It doesn't take long when it's right?
Yeah, it definitely doesn't.
Because it's I can just see by your videos and looking at you, you're a good looking young man. I can see that you probably had there were some fish in the sea, so to say, in North Carolina, but you found an Oregon girl, and she must be very special. And so congratulations to the both of you. I couldn't reiterate that more.
She's amazing. You'll meet her. You'll meet her
Cool.
on the 30th.
Cool. And you'll love it out here. It's have you ever been out here to the Coos County area?
I've driven through there. I haven't like stopped, seen anything. I know about where it is. It's about as far as it goes.
Okay. All right. Well, we like to think that we are a red county. 60% of us are we voted for the presidents, and so we are kind of a red county out here, definitely. But the nice thing is that we have it's kind of diverse. The other 40% are people who we would say was on the left, would be more left thinking. And I don't want to divide people. That was probably wrong of me to even go there, but that's what's nice down here is your music, like I said, transcends that. And that's what we want, people to think, that this is not about your politics or what party you belong to. It's about having a good time and dancing to country music. So I hope everyone can come out here and see this. There were a couple of songs that I liked, but I can't play them very long. Would you mind if I played them for just a few seconds?
Yeah, that's totally cool.
All right, because I want to do it off your
Oh, it might be playing funny. We'll see.
'Cause I've seen highs and I've seen lows, been down every damn broken road. I've sold hearts and never sold my soul. I probably got a place in hell, I know. Been up to.
And that's all I can replay because YouTube will come on and zap me for copyright laws, which is a good thing, because you want to get paid too. And so that's just I just wanted to give people a little taste that they can have. And maybe next time we can set it up where you can play guitar, because do you do a lot of acoustical without backup? And
Yeah.
I love that stuff.
Yeah.
We should probably do something like that. And maybe in the next interview or something, maybe we can catch something like that down when you're down here. Because people love that. When I see bands who take their rock stuff or even heavy metal and then they do an acoustical set, it really highlights the words that they've written so much more, because sometimes you can't even understand it when they're singing so fast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's really cool when you can have those special moments. Some of and I've got to see some of those where they've done acoustical shows. So that's something I would definitely tune into. And I'm so glad you're coming out here. People can reach you at your website, which is brandonhartofficial.com. Is that where you like people to go?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
All right. I want to show everyone where because you're on several different platforms. I got you here on YouTube and X, and let's see, Facebook. Oh, whoops. I don't know. There you are. There you are on Facebook. And so I wanted everyone to know that if you can't find them, you're on most of the big social media platforms. Is there any place that you like best that I didn't show?
Yeah, I would just say Instagram. It's B Hartt Music, and the biggest thing with people is remember two T's. There's another Brandon Hart out there with one T, so I think he and I share some fans. But but as long as you remember
I
two
found
T's,
that
it's just
guy.
yeah,
He's from New York. Is that the guy from New York, New York?
yeah. I think something like that. Yeah, they're like
Yeah.
Canada or something.
You get his you get his fan mail, vice versa. So that's
It's
Hart.
actually funny. We had people tagging us we're just so different in music, but we had people tagging us in videos like y'all should do a Brandon Hart record.
Sometimes that's cool too when you see two different genres get together, like when
Yeah.
Aerosmith and when they did Walk This Way. Gosh, I can't think of the rap band who but yeah, that's always cool too, something to think
Yeah.
about because it's always crossover because you can get people who would normally not listen to country go, oh wow, that was pretty cool. I might check that out because I'm sure it's like anything. You think people get a misrepresentation of country? They go, oh, it's just a bunch of inbred rednecks singing about their trucks, which yeah, but listen to it. You might like it.
Yeah.
It's yeah. And I love your Southern accent. It reminds me of when I was growing up, like I said, in East Texas and Louisiana. And it was funny. People were going, well, he's from Oregon. I was like, no. He's from North Carolina. That's where he's got the accent. But it's funny. Sometimes I listen to some of these Oregonians, and if they live out here on the eastern side, they do kind of have a Southern accent as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've caught that.
Yeah, a little bit. I've met some of the most redneck Southern style folk out here that you just wouldn't think. You would think this far north you wouldn't find it, but there are more gun-toting, patriot, conservative people out here than almost any state I've been but Texas.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy because even where I'm from, like my town, definitely redneck conservative. But then you get in and around, let's put North Carolina out on the map, not totally so conservative now, So it's kind of, I feel like it's becoming one of those things there. Like it's like here in Oregon is, the blue is kind of the populous area that runs everything through whatever fraud and scam they can to stay in. And, the other side just deals with it. So it's kind of, that's what's happening in North Carolina for sure. And it feels like somewhat what's happening here. I've been seeing some things about murderers being over Salem's, public safety stuff. I mean, I don't know what the hell's going on out here, but.
Oh yeah, I can only imagine. And so keep your head low. There's some weird stuff that happens up where you live. And it's funny you say it like that, about, redneck, it's more of a lifestyle than it is a geographical thing. So yeah, totally. And I get it. And yeah, in Oregon, I have a lot of redneck friends out here. And that's why also I wanted you to be on the show. I've got some friends who are just total, they love country. That's their lifestyle. They're loggers, they're construction workers. You know what I mean? That's why a lot of people tune into my show, because I'm not talking about the establishment. I'm talking from the ground level, not that 40,000 foot level. And that's why I appreciate your music, because I think it kind of reflects that ground level atmosphere.
Appreciate that.
No problem. Anything you want to say before you get out of here?
No, man. I appreciate the time. I'm looking forward to doing another one. We'll definitely have a couple singles ready, and we'll try to get back on. We'll see what you got February, March, and jump back on and show you what we're doing. And I can't wait to come out to this show. I'm pumped about it.
I'm pumped about it too. I'm really excited about it. So are everyone. Everyone's thrilled about this. I've talked to a lot of friends who are contacting their friends, and so you'll see a lot of pickups. Okay, so you guys, if you come out to the North Bend Community Center, you might as well just bring a pickup, because otherwise we're going to be making fun of you. Marty, no Priuses. Marty drives a Prius. He wears tie dye. It's okay. We love Marty, but Marty, we'll pick you up in my truck. It's okay. So thank you very much. Stick around. I'll talk to you after the recording, and I'll catch everyone else at some other time. Take care. All right. That was Brandon Hartt. Brandon Hart's going to be here. He's going to be here on January 30th, Friday, January 30th, a couple of weeks from now. And this is going to be a free concert. We're asking you all, please come out. Please come out and have a good time. If you're someone who loves country music, hell, you love the country and you want to celebrate and dance to country music, come on out. This is going to be a good time. He's a really good young man, and I think this is exactly what we're aiming for, people in that demographics. And his story, why did you move to Oregon for love? I can't think of any other reason why I would move to Oregon other than love. And I kind of moved to Oregon for love too. My wife said, I want to go out there. We have great opportunities and I'm moving. And so you should just come along. Okay, honey, I love you. And that's how I ended up in Oregon. So I guess a lot of people who have fallen in love with people in Oregon move here and then realize, oh my God, what did I do? It must be a culture shock. It was a culture shock for me. It must be for him as well, coming from North Carolina. And like I said, Oregon just doesn't have the barbecue that they have in North Carolina. But you can see this guy January 30th at the North Bend Community Center. Please check it out. I've got it all over Facebook, all over social media. I'm going to put this out on my website very soon. You can check it out there. And remember, the night before, on that Thursday, the 29th, we're having the second part of our tour at the Egyptian, where you're going to be able to listen to Maureen Mo Bannon and two of the Turning Point people right now. They're Club America. That's for the older group. Turning Point is for high schoolers, and Club America is between the 18 and 35 demographic. And this is all about young people, encouraging them to get involved. And the first thing you must do is get educated. And that's what the group Turning Point does, is it educates young people. I want to thank Brandon Hartt for being on the show. That was really great. I'm going to have a Friday night rant. And if it works out all right, this should be a really good Friday night rant this Friday. I have 3 sponsors that I have to mention because they kick ass. They just plain kick ass because they sponsor shows like this. They sponsored some of these people. They helped sponsor the event that we're doing. Some of these guys have chipped in money for the events we're doing to help out. So not only do they sponsor the show, they help sponsor the events, and they're going to be there as well. I believe the Holmans are going to be at our event, and you can see if you need to get your trees cut, you need to have those trees taken down. You got a few branches hanging over the eaves of your yard, or the eaves of your houses in your yard, over the eaves, not only your eaves, but your car, maybe your garage. Maybe you have an outdoor garage and you got trees over it and you want to take those trees out. 3H Tree Service can remove those with surgical precision. 541-294-1800. That's 541-294-1800. Call Matt Holman and he'll set you up with a time where they can come in and take out those trees. You don't want to live with a liability. It's just not a good thing. So call 3H Tree Service at 541-294-1800. And once again, Matt, I think he's going to be out there at the dinner. I know he's going to be at the theater. This is going to be a really good time. And I can't wait to see a lot of these people show up for this event. This is going to be really good stuff. I know Shanna and Tim are going to be there. Tom and Giggs. They're at 135 South Shoneman Street in Coos Bay. That's the Empire neighborhood, right behind the car wash. And if you know where the Empire neighborhood is, you know where the car wash is. And you can reach them at 541-888-4660. I will have you know that Tim and Shanna, the owners of Tom and Giggs, They actually purchased the tickets for the private dinner for the Turning Point guys. They have purchased those tickets, and because they support what we're doing, they support this show, they support conservative values out there, they support Christian values out there. Good stuff. And if you need your car worked on, you need shocks, you need struts, you got a muffler problem, they can take care of that. You got an alignment issue, they can take care of that. Don't worry. Tom and Gigs, 541-888-4660. And they're not just about the big cars. Even though you can get lift kits and performance accessories there, they are about a lot of other things. They got some really cool toys there. This is some of the RC stuff that they have. Really cool stuff. That RC stuff is just amazing. You got to go check it out. If you've got someone at home that wants to get moving, be a little bit more active, get a hobby, this is a great hobby. These flying helicopters, the flying drones, they've got planes over there. The mini RC car, a lot of cool stuff. Very cool stuff. And they got Tannerite over there, but you have to be 18 years or older to purchase Tannerite, and you will be asked to show an ID. Another group of people that's going to be at this event is Jim Deathridge and his wife, Rosalina. Beautiful people. They're the wonderful owners of Herbal Choices Cannabis Dispensary. The dispensary of my choice, Herbal Choices. The herbalchoices.com website is where you can find out more about the Herbal Choices store. You must be 21 years or older to purchase that, and 21 years or older, because we don't want kids in there. We don't want kids in there, and we don't want to encourage this for kids. No. And so that's why on top of it, we've got 5 stores that you can go to, Charleston, Coos Bay, Bandon, Reedsport, and North Bend. So if you've got some herbal needs, we got some Herbal Choices for you at Herbal Choices, 5 locations all around the Coos County area. And of course, abstinence. This is something I'm pushing. There are a lot of vices out there. A lot of people have a lot of vice. They can't live without their vice. And vice, as you know, it will take your money, it'll take your dignity, and it'll leave you in a street corner just sitting in your own waste if you're not careful. You don't believe me? Go look at all the people who are suffering from vice down in the Empire neighborhood. Look at the people who suffer, who have become victims of their own vice, of their own bad habits. And everyone does this. And there's really a simple answer. Just abstain. Abstain from doing things that are harmful to you. Abstinence. It's a good thing. I couldn't preach more about it. Let's see. Off Oregon Firearms Federation, the only no compromise gun group in Oregon. And believe me, Kevin Starrett over there at Oregon Firearms Federation, he's still kicking ass. He's still fighting for our rights in the courts. And if you want to put your money behind a group that's going to make sure and use it for the things that we need it used for, such as fighting against Measure 114 in the courts, this group is going to do it. Oregon Firearms Federation. They've been leading the way in protecting our Second Amendment rights for a long time, more so than the Republican Party, much more so than any of our Republican representatives. Oregon Firearms. Find out more at OregonFirearms.org. And they're not my sponsors, but I like to give them a shout out. Bandon Gun Club at bandongunclub.org. And of course, the TaigaSportsPark.org, another place where you can go sight in your rifle and do some target shooting. You should know how to use your firearm if you're going to own a firearm. Wouldn't you agree? I would. I know I do. And of course, the Coos County Neighborhood Watch. If you are someone who's on Facebook and you want to know what kind of crime is going on, I can tell you right now, you can get play-by-play reports on the Coos County Neighborhood Watch. Really great group. They do a lot of good things out there. Please become a member and become active. Don't be a cuck. Get out there and fight for your neighborhood. Take your neighborhoods back. It doesn't take a lot. It's an O&R operation, R&O, that's it. R&O operation, observe and report. I was right the first time, O&R, observe and report. It's an O&R operation, observe and report. That's all people are doing. They're out there. And let me tell you, we've got dozens of people who are very active in trying to find the porch pirates out there, the people who are doing home invasions, the people who are breaking into houses, breaking into cars, who are harassing people. There are people on the streets who are filming this, who are getting their pictures of these culprits. And we're not going to put up with it anymore. We don't care what the sabotage justice system is doing. We are not going to allow our neighborhoods to fall into disarray. So join the Coos County Neighborhood Watch. And of course, this Coos County Citizen Council, I know they have a meeting on Wednesday, not a meeting, a Zoom, not a Zoom, I'm sorry, a live stream on Facebook and many other sites, other platforms. Coos County Citizen Council. You can check out Chris Castleman. He does his thing every Wednesday. And that's pretty much some of the stuff that's going on. I want to thank all of you for joining me. Let's see. Mullen D. Jerome says, I feel like committing suicide. Am useless. Can I have someone to talk to before taking my own life? Whoa, I'm sorry. I should have read that comment way before I put that on stage. Are you serious, Melindy? I hope you don't feel like you are about to kill yourself and take your own life. That's not worth it. You don't know what's going to happen every minute to the next minute. And so I would say, please, whatever you do, don't take your own life. Find the purpose that you're living for. It's easy. Just keep looking for it. And taking your own life is not going to solve anything. It's only going to cause more pain and suffering for the very people that you love and care about. I'm sorry to hear this, Melindy. Very sad, very sad. Please don't take your life. I will take that comment off there. I need to read those comments before I just spit it out there on the air. But I want to thank all of you for joining me. Melindy, please get some help. We will be back, like I said, next week on the Rob Taylor Report, and we will be back on the Friday Night Rant. I think I'm going to try to have Richard Burke and Suzanne Gallagher on the Friday Night Rant, because they're going to be doing an event the same weekend that our event is happening. Theirs is on Saturday. They're doing the Western Liberty Network event, which should be a really entertaining time. And once again, I want to thank you all for joining me. Until next time, folks, carry on, Coos County. Carry on.